Hi YouTube, good morning. This is Tinka OES Lady. Welcome to my channel and um, all of my new subscribers. I now have 152 subscribers. I'm also newly subscribed to a lot of new people who were homeschoolers that were given a shout out on Aaron's last video about homeschoolers. So without any further ado, I'm going to go into my topic for today, and that is portfolios. I am in no way, shape, or form confident that I can do a really, really good portfolio. So I have begun the process now of putting together two portfolios, one for each child, for my evaluator, and this will give me enough time to have the organization in place so that when the time comes for my evaluation in the spring, that I am not scrambling around. So basically what I have is a 3-ring binder. I have the clear type, and on the side here you can see the tabs where I have taken a label maker and made tabs for each subject. So I have math, science, language arts, history, and social studies. This happens to be for my 4th grader. Um, so each tab is actually a folder for me to slip in the work. So I have work in each one. In language arts, I have added her spelling tests and any other exercises in language arts that we have done on grammar and such. And in math, I have different worksheets that we've done, time tests, and so on and so forth. I do not have anything in the beginning of our portfolio. As you can see, this is where it begins. I just started off with math. So I'm looking for, I have a general idea, but I'm looking for some suggestions as to what to put in my front of my book. Should there be maybe a table of contents? Should there be standardized tests from last year? Um, what other things can I put there? I have an idea to possibly put in our objectives that we were expected to do for the school district. Also, just some of like maybe like our kind of our mission and what our type of style is. So I just am looking for some suggestions. If anybody has any other ideas on any other ways to do this, and what you put in yours, I would love to hear back from you and get some feedback on that. Right now, we are really just really pushing forward because the kids want to have a little time off for Christmas, so we're just trying to catch up. Two of the kids, well, my oldest child, who's not one of my students, and the next child are out at the library now returning books and picking up a list of books that I gave them, and I'm just home here with my 3-year-old and 9-year-old. I get the feeling that they're probably not doing what they're supposed to because I'm upstairs. Um, that's pretty much it. I don't have many changes. I did order the Saxon Algebra 1/2 or 1/2 for my pre-high schooler, and so she has already finished the McGraw-Hill book that was pre-algebra. So we're just moving on to another book on pre-algebra, and at the end of that book we're going to start algebra if there is time, or we'll just do a little bit over the summer. That's the only book editions that I have. Like I said, I also have on order the Kingfisher's encyclopedias and Usborne encyclopedia. One is for world history and the other one is for science. I can't remember which one because each one does the same. But I wanted to get a sample from each one. I know other homeschoolers use that um, for their science and for their history. So I got those. Other than that, our school year is going forward very well. I used to feel guilty about days where it was slow and we really didn't do anything, but I have finally figured out a way to give myself somewhat like a day off and then still have school. And what I have basically done. It's like the night before I have like a doctor's appointment or something like that. I just let the kids know everything that is going to be expected of them. So what I try not to do, because it's hard to figure out if they did it or not, I try not to just give like all their reading assignments. I try to give all the written stuff so I can come right in and see that they did their writing assignments. And I generally, that's the day that my 9-year-old fourth grader will have to do like her sentences for her spelling words, put them in alphabetical order, look them up in the dictionary, do all of those tedious things that generally once she's doing it, I don't have to, sit there with her on it. So those are the days that are very low instruction, but they have their directives on what they're supposed to be doing that day. My eighth, ninth grader, she does on those days. She will read like maybe 3 chapters and then give me the assessments in her science book, and then she'll also do in her science notebook. She will also define all the words in that chapter and also the assessments for the chapter, and then we go over it all together. I feel like at this time, um, she's going to be ready for her at PSSAs. My concern is that this year the PSSA is on writing and on science, in addition to the usual stuff that they test them on. Um, I think it's hard for her to write under pressure and with a time restraint. And she's even nervous about it. And I'm trying to get her to have more confidence, number one, with her writing, to um, make it up to the standard that it needs to be, and also be able to write it in a certain amount of time. So I don't know really how we're going to practice that. If I can just, set a timer up and give her an essay to do in 60 minutes with a topic, which is basically what's going to be on the test, or should we just continue to work on the fundamentals of it so that she just has it down in her head like a formula, so whatever they throw at her, she's able to write something about it. She always feels thrown off when you give her a topic, maybe say about football. Of course, she doesn't know a lot about football, but what I told her is that you know enough about most things that you can do a quick essay on it. You can talk about, the competitiveness of it or something, some aspect of it, and you need to figure out an angle, because a lot of the times the topic is going to seem so like something that you're not even up to speed on. So I don't want her to worry about that. Overall, I can't repeat more to the people who are still using Connections Academy. Um, my kids seem to have a lot more confidence this year in their work, and it is because they don't feel like they're going on having to click off 100 lessons in a week. I think that we do probably the same amount, if not more, work, and information wise and mastery wise than we were doing last year. It just seemed like they were just doing the work to get it off of the screen to check it off. It was just always this long list of things that they never felt like they were going to get done. If we took one day off, it doubled up and it looked like more work. And I'm able to regulate the work a little bit better. So they definitely feel more confident, and the work looks excellent that they're doing this year. So I'm so glad that I switched. I'm still tweaking the curriculum. I still don't have a specific style that I'm using. I want to say it's more so classical, but I do want to explore like the unit studies and all that other types of things that I can add to it. What I basically have done for most of the subjects, not all of them, is just basically order textbooks, not textbooks specific for homeschoolers. I've ordered textbooks that have workbooks to it, and we're going through chapter by chapter, the same as we would do in school. So this just allows me to, once we hit on different things that we want to explore deeper, we can do that with our other books. And so far that seems to be working. It's an easier way for me to organize my planner that way, because I look at each book, I go through the topics out of the table of contents that I wish to go over, and I write it in our planner with the pages, and that is what we do. As far as planning for right now, I try to do my planner about 3 or 4 weeks chunks of at a time. I don't want to go any further than that because things happen, and I don't want to have something planned and that we are not able to get to, and we've gone through something a little bit faster than we thought, and here we are still on the planner. So I just do 4 weeks at a time. I do both students. I don't write it out thing, like every little page like I used to. Now, it's a given that if I put chapter 3 in science, such and such book, and what the topic is that that topic is going to be for the week. Maybe at the end of the week I'll write that, we reviewed it and we had an assessment or test on it, and that's basically it. I have really streamlined that. I really thought that I was going to have to go through day by day and say, we did this page, and so on and so forth. And I'm finding that that's not really necessary. Um, so, especially with the older child, it's a given that if we start a chapter on Monday, unless I say that it's a longer chapter and we need to do for 2 weeks, then it's assumed that that chapter should be done by the end of the week. That's all that I have to say for now. Please, anybody who can evaluate what I have going on so far as curriculum wise, and as far as my portfolio, please feel free to comment and give some constructive criticism and some. If you're going to give criticism or constructive or otherwise, please add some resources to help me with that. Just criticism without any help is just another problem. So thank you all once again. This is Tinka OES Lady.